from the rooms on Saturday night as the Pies celebrated a 12-point win over Brisbane at the Gabba. Welcome to Mondays with Maxy. I'm your host, Michael Christian, and joining me today, as he will every Monday through the year, premiership skipper and naming rights holder of this show, Nick Maxwell. Welcome to your show, Maxy.
Good to be here, mate. It's always good to start the season with a win, and great for those young players in the middle of that huddle. First time wearing the black and white, they'll remember that forever.
Yeah, they will indeed. It got pretty tight though.
It did. Got very tight at the end there. But, mate, I want to talk about the two big fellas, Jesse White and Trav Cloak. I thought they were very good for us, particularly in those conditions. You see Trav here, I think it was a real tactic to get Merritt away from defensive 50. He's a guy who's used to standing deep, used to being a full back, but Trav got him up around the ground, which also worked into Trav's hands. He's a really good with fitness. That's really important for him. So worked up the ground well, played well, and it also allowed Jesse White to play deeper on a younger defender in Justin Clark, who's still finding his feet in the AFL. So see a good mark there by Jesse.
Yeah, now you mentioned the conditions. It was humid early, then the rain came. So not a great night conditions-wise for big guys.
And that's even more encouraging, the fact they could have an impact despite the fact that things didn't quite go to plan in terms of the weather. But had 9 shots on goal between them, so they were really important the way that they played for us.
Now the match got extremely tight with 7 minutes remaining on the clock. The margin was just 10 points, but Collingwood's defence did not concede a score after that. Nathan Buckley highlighted this point in his post-match media conference.
You know, we basically dominated the game for the best part of 3 quarters and gave the opposition a sniff because we didn't finish a couple of chances there at the end of the 3rd quarter and gave ourselves a bit of a scare. But I thought the leadership and the pluck in that last 8 minutes just to hold the game and do what we needed to do was pretty good.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the back six. They're a very young group. They played really well in that last quarter. There's 19 inside 50s against, and they kept Brisbane to just 4 goals too. So they really stepped up. You can see here, Rich kicking this goal brought it back to only 10 points with only 6 minutes remaining. So very good last quarter by the boys. Tommy Langdon had 7 touches. Thought Alan Tuvey really stood up for us. He's a guy who has always been a quality player for us. You always know what you're going to get, but leadership-wise, I think he's going to take his game to the next level. And love this from Tommy Langdon, coming off his direct opponent. He'll start marking them soon, and he's going to be an absolute star for us for a long time.
No sign of any second-year blues for Tom.
Absolutely not. He was great. Obviously, big year last year, stepping into the AFL for the first time. And look, there was a lot of guys who played really well for us. I think that the Smalls did a really good job. We know that the Mosquito Fleet for Brisbane, as they're named, they're really dangerous and they kick a lot of their goals. But Sinclair, who else down there? Marley Williams, Ramsey, they were really good for us shutting them down. I love this bit of footage here. Yeah. Tommy Langdon, he knew what Zorko was going to do, but he was all over it.
Now, each week you'll be awarding a best player. Who was round one's best?
Jared Blair. I thought Blairy was sensational for us. Really important player, and he's a really underrated player. Last year, Champion Data had him as the 2nd most forward half pressure acts in the AFL. So just shows that role, how important it is and how good he is. And he's also a Morris medalist. We forget that he actually won the Morris medal in the TAC Cup for the best player in the competition going through the midfield. So good to see him have 4 clearances, 7 tackles, over 400 metres gained, which is a stat that's getting more and more important in the AFL, to see how far a player travels with the ball, kicking the ball, but also when they carry it. And Blairy had a lot there with over 400 metres. Kicked a couple of goals too from the small forward, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, geez, tough. He was an outstanding player on the night, no question about that, Jared Blair. A sour note on the night was Steele Sidebottom suffering a suspected broken thumb, which will see him on the sidelines for several weeks, with the medical findings reported through Barmy's injury update on Collingwood TV on Tuesday. Looking at his replacement, Maxy, we had the VFL side play a practice match on Saturday morning against Casey. Now several midfielders put their hand up.
Yeah, you see Paul Seedsman there kicking the ball. He's a guy who's coming back from hip injury, so he's getting a lot fitter. Nathan Freeman was very good again. Tim Broomhead, I thought was really stiff to miss out. He showed some real good form through the pre-season. Benny Kennedy was the emergency going into that game, so there's still some quality there. And I think, geez, Nathan Freeman, you see him get the ball here. I'm hoping that he can stay injury-free because I think he's going to be an absolute star for us. But obviously disappointing that Steele's out, but we've got a lot of quality coming in. It just means opportunity for one of these young guys.
Yeah, great to see some VFL action. Maxy, you're outstanding on your show.
Thanks, mate. Good to be here.
Thanks for joining us on Mondays with Maxy.